My name is Adam. I used to be a detective. In this channel, I talk about cases that stayed with me. Not because of the crime itself, but because of the people involved. The ones that make you look at a quiet street, a normal house, and wonder what's happening behind the walls when the lights go out. This is one of those cases. It wasn't about a murder. It was about a theft, but what was stolen? You can't put a price on. Today I'm going to tell you about a case that haunted a small suburban community for nearly a decade. It's a story about deception, obsession, and a crime that nobody saw coming until it was far too late. This is the kind of case that makes you question everything you think you know about the people around you. In the spring of 2005, a man named David Chen moved into a modest single-story home on Maple Street. The house was nothing special. It was the kind of place where nothing interesting ever happened, or so everyone thought. By all accounts, David seemed normal. That's the word everyone used. Normal. He was in his late 30s, an accountant. He kept to himself, he was polite, he mowed his lawn. He was a ghost in plain sight. But neighbors would later tell us something that sent a chill down my spine. He watched, not the casual noticing of neighbors. This was different. He would stand in his yard for hours as the light faded, dressed in dark clothes, motionless. He'd sit on his porch with a cold cup of coffee, just observing. And he wrote in notebooks. Little leather-bound books he filled with meticulous notes. We found them later. Times, dates, license plates, which child belonged to which house, work schedules, grocery days. It was a ledger of mundane lives. But for one family, it became a blueprint. The Morrison family lived 3 doors down. A mother, a father, 2 kids, utterly average. To David Chen, they were a fixation. He knew their routines with a precision that was clinical. He knew when Catherine, the mother, left for her nursing shifts. He knew when the father, Michael, came home. He knew the children's soccer practice schedule down to the minute. For 3 years he documented their existence. And the terrifying part, no one noticed him. He had perfected a kind of social invisibility. He was the man no one remembered seeing. Then the gifts started appearing in the Morrisons' yard. A toy car. A rusty bicycle. Things the kids shrugged off at first, but then they became personalized. A specific action figure Tyler liked. A bracelet in Emma's exact size. That's when the fear started to creep in. Someone knew them. Catherine, the mother, began noticing other things. Small, almost imperceptible violations. A door lock in a different position than she swore she left it. A bathroom window, closed and locked at night, found open in the morning. A book on a shelf, shifted a half-inch. Her jewelry box, moved on the dresser. She told her husband. He was skeptical at first. We all would be. It sounds like paranoia. But Catherine was a nurse, grounded, detail-oriented. She felt it in her bones. Someone had been inside her home. They installed cameras, changed the locks. The feeling never left. She described it as a constant, low-grade dread, like a sound just below hearing. The sanctity of her home was gone. The break came on a Wednesday afternoon. Catherine came home from a pharmacy run and found her front door unlocked. She was absolutely certain she had locked it. This time, she didn't go in. She called us. When officers entered, they found David Chen sitting calmly on the edge of Catherine's bed, his hands in his lap, just waiting. He offered no resistance. He was almost serene. In interrogation, he was disturbingly forthcoming. He told us he'd been inside the Morrison home over 40 times in the past year alone. He could navigate it in pitch darkness. He'd read Catherine's diary. He'd handled the children's toys. He'd touched their clothes. He'd lived a secret life within their walls, and he spoke about it with the detached interest of a researcher cataloging specimens. There was no rage, no sexual motive we could find. Just an overwhelming, all-consuming need to know them, to be, in his twisted way, a part of their lives. The law, we quickly found, had no good box to put him in. Trespassing. Burglary, though he never took anything. Stalking. The charges felt inadequate. He was sentenced to 3 years. 3 years for systematically dismantling a family's sense of safety. And that's where the real horror of this case began. After the gavel came down, the Morrison family never recovered. Catherine developed a severe anxiety disorder. She couldn't sleep in the dark. She checked locks compulsively. The master bedroom became a place of violation. She moved to a guest room. The children were traumatized. The boy had nightmares. The girl refused to sleep at home. The house itself became a prison of bad memories. They sold it at a loss, just to escape, and moved to another state. They tried to start over, but how do you rebuild a foundation that's been eroded from beneath you? David Chen served his time. He was released. The last I heard, he'd moved to another town. And that's the thought that keeps me up some nights. He's out there, somewhere. Is he standing on another porch, holding another cold coffee, watching another family? Has he chosen new subjects for his silent, obsessive study? The system punished him for the crimes he committed, but it was never equipped to treat the sickness that drove them. He crossed a legal line when he walked through that door, but he'd crossed a human line long before, and we never saw it. This case stayed with me because it redefined violence for me. Violence isn't always a knife or a gun. It can be a presence where there should be absence. It can be the quiet shifting of a belonging on a dresser. It can be the utter, profound theft of peace. The law needs a broken window, a kicked-in door. By the time we see the evidence, the damage is already done in ways no court can ever fix. See you in the next episode.